Good Tuesday morning. Boomer is out in Los Angeles filming the Super Bowl's greatest commercials that he does. That's right. He's doing it again with Danielle Arua. And the two of them will be talking about the great commercials. And you can check that out on CBS at some point. So, yes, he is all over the place. He's in Kansas City. He's in Los Angeles. We'll be out in Phoenix together. So he will be back on Thursday. That means that Jerry Recco is back from Iowa City, and he's in for Boomer this morning. Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
What's up? Good morning. Nice to actually be here.
Yeah,
Not
I know.
there, here.
Right, it's been a while, right?
Yeah, Thursday, I know. Trust me, I know.
With the basement or getting stuck in Iowa, finally Jerry Recco is back in the studio. And this morning, Jerry, I'm feeling something that I've never felt in my life. And this is not an exaggeration. I have never sat here at this point of the year and felt this way about football. But I am done with this NFL season, and I want it to be over with. And I've never felt that way, ever. I'm always like the guy that when the Super Bowl's over, I'm freaking out. And I'm like, we don't have football for I don't know how long, and pitchers and catchers and baseball get here. And I am done with this NFL season, and I have reasons why. And you tell me if I'm nuts, or you tell me if I'm feeling the wrong way, or you tell me if I'm way off base. But everything that I wanted to happen in this NFL season came to a screeching halt in such disappointing fashion that I'm just like, I'm numb to it now. Whether it was my team who won 13 games and then got crushed by the Giants. Whether it was at that point where I'm like, hey, we might have a fun little Giants run here. Maybe they get to the NFC Championship game. They get crushed by the Eagles. Hey, we've got an exciting situation here with the New York Jets. Here comes Mike White. Mike White's going to take them to the playoffs. He breaks 50 ribs and the season just completely falls apart. Championship weekend. I love it. I love championship weekend. It's the greatest. When your team's in it, it's even better. But if it's not, it's like, this is great. Two teams fighting to go to the Super Bowl. Two games that made me so annoyed for different reasons. It was the worst championship weekend I could remember when I was just a passive observer. And now I'm already sick of the Super Bowl stories. It's Tuesday, and I'm already sick of the Kelsey brothers. I'm already sick of Andy Reid and the Eagles, and I'm done with it. And neither one of these teams I'm really interested in winning the Super Bowl because I just saw it. You know, these two fan bases for a very long time were starved for either another Super Bowl championship because it's been a very long time for the Kansas City Chiefs or the Eagles who had never won one. So that was exciting the last time those teams were in there. And in 2017, obviously you had the Eagles win it, and then, of course, back in 2019, the Chiefs won it. So now these two teams have won in recent memory. I'm like, there's nothing fun about this. There's not a thing fun about it. And you got a team in Philadelphia, in a city that we all hate, that's in this game, that might win another one. So we're going to have fun in Phoenix, but I can't wait for the end of this Super Bowl so we could turn the page, get into this NFL offseason, get excited about everything else again.
Well, that's the cool thing about the NFL is it's become like baseball used to be. When the season ends, the season begins. And the good news for you is it's over next Sunday. You know what? So many times we talk about NFL officiating ruining games, and yet what do the following Sunday? There we are in front of our TVs watching, and the ratings not only are good, they continue to go up, 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 and up. The viewership of some of these games, the numbers they exceed are mind-blowing. And so while we all go nuts over what's a catch, what's not a catch, the NFL's hard to watch. You can't watch a game without, oh, wait, is there a penalty? Whatever the case may be, dominance on one end, futility on the other, teams that always win, teams that never win. We, like sheep, are there every single Sunday because we love it. Now, we're at a time, I'm with you. Championship Sunday, to me, is usually the best Sunday of the football season. That's for me. Sunday was brutal. The first game, everything got knocked out when Brock Purdy went out of the game, and then the game was over and it was nothing. The second game was intriguing, but I'm with you and a lot of people where and I don't believe this to be the case, is then they had the pool reporter with the official afterwards. You almost felt like they wanted Kansas City in that game. And I know that I really don't believe that to be true. But when you watch it, you come to that conclusion sometime thinking what are these guys doing out there? So it's mind-numbing. It's frustrating. It's It's almost over.
Yeah, it is almost over. And I know I'm looking forward to our hot air balloon ride. I'm looking forward to Phoenix. I'm looking forward to hanging out. It's going to be awesome. But when that game is over, I'm going to be thrilled. And I've never, ever had that feeling. Now, a couple points. One, Boomer texted me yesterday, speaking to the ratings, that the AFC Championship game is going to be over 50 million viewers.
Yeah. Think about
on
that.
CBS,
right?
Over 50 million, which is absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm always going to be there. I'm not going to lie. I'm always going to be there, as frustrated as I get. But you mentioned something. This is another feeling that I've never had in a football season, and you just brought it up. So two very, very unique feelings that I never had. One, I want the season to be over, and two, twice this year, I thought that the officials, I can't believe I'm saying this, I thought the officials wanted a team to win. And I've never said that, and we've taken calls over and over and over again, and me going, you're nuts, stop saying it's fixed, and I'd probably do the same thing if someone called up today. But there were two times this year. One was that Sunday night game, Giants-Commanders, where they're down on the goal line to tie the game, the Commanders, and then all of a sudden, there's this illegal shift penalty when the wide receiver, I forget, was it McLaurin? I don't even remember.
I think it was.
So, when he looks over at the official, doesn't say anything, down at the goal line, the entire game, he does the same thing. Then all of a sudden, whoop, there's the penalty. Touchdown negated. And then after that, you had a mauling in the end zone that it's a pass interference we've seen called 10 million times. And then that right there. And then I'm thinking conspiracy theory in my head because now it's making me nuts. The NFL hates the Commanders. That was a big situation with Dan Snyder the entire year. That game was essentially whoever won that game had a better beat in the playoffs. And you got the New York market being number one. We don't need the Commanders in the playoffs because of the negative press and this fact that this guy's going to be selling the team. Now I'm going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And then add to the AFC Championship game. I'm watching this. I saw them give them 3 opportunities at a 3rd and 9.
I know.
They said, you get a do-over.
And more so, and I know you guys spent a lot of time yesterday on the push out of bounds, which to me I do think was a penalty given the way they actually call the games. What to me was worse was the pass interference call on 3rd down. And, this is not because some people can say, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, say, well, live betting now and it's I'm not even going there, and I don't believe the games are. I really don't. I just think the inconsistency in the officiating is what drives you nuts. I'll go back a few years when the Cowboys beat the Seahawks. I think it was the wild card round of the playoffs. And the penalties were insane against Seattle. And I'm watching the game. Listen, I want the Cowboys to win more than anybody. But I'm watching that game saying they're not giving Seattle, they don't want them winning this game. And I think they called, and I have to go back and look, but I want to say double-digit penalties on Seattle. Pete Carroll almost lost his mind on the sideline. They were calling nothing on Dallas. And it goes to, when we watch a football game, what do we always say in every single play in the NFL? You can call a penalty on every single
holding
play.
On every single play.
And then we always talk about on the podcast when you get nuts watching these games because before you celebrate a big play, you have to wait for that little yellow graphic to come up on the screen to make sure that the play is going to stand. Every play. I mean, you tell me what's interference on a receiver. I don't know anymore.
Right.
And then when you get these analysts, that's a good no call. They're letting them hand fight and battle. Okay, but then other times they don't. So where's the consistency in it?
Yeah, that drives me nuts. It's like, they're letting them play. I like that. Good non-call. Or that's a penalty by the book, and that's why they should have called that penalty. Yeah, I mean, and because these games are, it's decided, especially when you get two teams that are very, very evenly matched, like the Bengals and the Chiefs, those things really do matter. Now, I tried to make sure yesterday that I said 1,000,000 times that I wasn't blaming the officials for the Bengals losing the game or me losing my bet on the Cincinnati Bengals because there was those 2 opportunities in the fourth quarter that the Bengals had, and they didn't capitalize on. But to me, it got to the point where the Kansas City Chiefs were given more opportunities to win that game because of what was going on with the officiating, and it left a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, how about even the Saints from a few years ago?
Oh, my God,
yes. A play that anybody at any age knows is a penalty, and it goes uncalled?
Yeah, and that was even worse because that's a judgment call. That's one of those things where, at that time, and of course they tried the next year to make it the pass interference be reviewable, and that turned out to be a total disaster and then got rid of it. But that's a judgment call. That's one of those things that, It's not challengeable. There's nothing you could do about it. It's not like expedited replay can come down and change that. And essentially that changed the entire outcome of who was going to the Super Bowl or not in that season.
I mean, and to your point, how about we think now to the Tom Brady games this year? Some of the game, was it the Falcon game? Does that sound right? In Tampa, where they had horrendous calls against Atlanta down the stretch. And you're thinking, well, let's see. Do we want the Falcons with Marcus Mariota to win this division, or do we want Tom Brady and the Bucs to win? You can actually have those thoughts in your head and not be thought to be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, and I used to always say that people were nuts with that, but this year there was just a couple of examples of me. Now, I don't think that the NFL was trying to keep the Bengals out of the Super Bowl. I don't believe that, because I don't think there was that much difference within the Chiefs being in there and the Bengals being in there. But like that Commanders-Giants thing for sure. Like my conspiracy theorist stuff was really rolling with that. Like anytime you could screw Dan Snyder, let's screw Dan Snyder. I mean, they negated a touchdown on an illegal formation or illegal shift down at the goal line to tie the game, something that wasn't called the entire game.
I think there's a lot that goes into these calls, these games. I think the way a coach rides an official, I think if an official thinks that they made a mistake that they're going to make up for. I mean, I see it. You know, I get to sit courtside for a lot of these Big Ten games. Yeah. I see it all the time where you see crap. I'll give you an example from Sunday. And we even said it on the air during the Rutgers-Iowa game. There was, I thought, a really bad call against Iowa. I don't remember. I think it was Rebracha, the kid. And it was like his third foul, and Fran McCaffrey almost had a stroke on the sideline. His veins are popping out of his neck. He's bright red, and he is screaming at the official to where you think he's going to get teed up. They don't. You come back, 2 plays later, a mysterious call against Rutgers for a guy that's just standing. I really do believe that whether it's they're influenced by the coach, maybe they realize they made a mistake. I do believe there are makeup calls. I'd love to talk to an official about it.
Oh, there's 100% makeup calls. There
has to be that case where they have makeup calls.
I mean, you see this in the NFL all the time. Like if there is let's say a 3rd and 16, and then you get a defensive hold or an illegal contact that gives the team an automatic first down on a play that they wouldn't have converted. And then the next play after that, you get offensive holding to put them back 10 yards because it's like, hey, sorry we screwed you all that bad, defense, but we're going to give you a little bit of advantage here because it's going to be 1st and 20.
For sure.
I mean, I've seen that 10 million times.
And is there anything worse than the penalty away from the play? And now I'll talk about the Giants and Cowboys from earlier this year in Dallas. Remember the touchdown the Giants scored? That was disallowed because of a player illegally downfield by 1 step and away from the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Who's watching that?
It really is tough. It's tough. So that combined with everything else that I said, I am looking forward. And just watch. We're going to get some terrible officiating blunder in the Super Bowl that's going to change who wins the game. I mean, that's basically what I'm thinking. If I could bet on that on FanDuel Sportsbook, I probably would. And I want to get into this offseason, too. I want to get to the point where we're finding out what's going on with guys. I want to find out if Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet. I want to see what Joe Shane does with this team and if the Giants can take the next step. All these things that are very exciting. You know, for how many years it was about the draft for the Jets and Giants, couple of top 10 picks, all of these draft conversations, and now it really isn't that. I mean, the Jets don't have it's not like a top 2 pick, but I mean, it's not really the conversation around the Jets. The conversation around the Jets is Aaron Rodgers. And that, to me, is exciting about what these teams are going to do. So, I mean, like I said, we'll be excited to be in Phoenix. We'll have a good time. We're all going to watch the Super Bowl. We're going to come in here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the commercials. We're going to talk about the halftime show. We're going to do all this stuff. But for the first time ever, I'm going to be thrilled when I see the zeros on the board and I say, we're moving on.
Good morning.
We are moving on.
Absolutely.
Get it out of here.
Look at it this way. It's Phoenix. It's not Minnesota.
No, I know. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, that's the good news about the week. And yes, it's a lot of mind-numbing conversations, again, as we know. But because we're on so early, you don't have to worry about pushing, Wonder Bread products and things of that nature to get guests on.
Right.
And it'll be over before you know it. We'll be here and gone.
Right.
Here and gone.
We do have one guest scheduled as of right now.
And he's not pushing Wonder Bread.
No,
I've got a couple now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anybody on the warm-up show?
No warm-up show guests.
I know.
And I'm working on another one.
Okay.
Anybody you want to tell us about?
That's
a no.
Who's that dude on the Steelers?
Cam Hayward.
Cam Hayward?
Cam Hayward's great.
Steve Largent, legendary Hall of Fame.
That's one we talked about.
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Of course, that Anthony Munoz is going to stumble.
Yeah, right.
I have a hard time saying no to that one because it's Boomer's main man.
You can't say no to that one.
Right.
And I'm working on a potential big one that Gio will be very excited about, but because of the early time, I'm not sure if we'll.
That's interesting. Who, is it in the football world
In
or
the football
a different
world.
sport?
Football world.
So it's going to have to be a former Viking that would fire up.
Or maybe a
Greg
current
Giannotti.
one.
Who knows?
Oh,
Could
or
be
a current one.
Could be Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I
Could
suppose.
be that.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, a lot of those young guys do the tours, so that could be the case.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we could get Coach Cow, CBS Family, CBS Super Bowl, I'm sure.
Oh, Phil Simms will stop by that
yeah.
early.
This isn't a CBS Super Bowl. This is a
No,
Fox Super Bowl.
That's right.
Oh,
Next year in Vegas is the CBS Super Bowl. That's right. So you getting Kevin Burkhardt on?
No.
He might do it, though.
I know he would. Local guy. People love to hear from him.
I don't know. He got very bougie when
Nah,
he was.
no
Go through
way.
PR, blah, blah, blah.
Did he really? Did he tell you go through PR?
He's not allowed. No, that's not fair. He's not allowed. He has to. For real. It's in his contract.
All right, well, you text him saying, hey, I'm going through PR, and then you have him say to PR, hey, look for this. I'll do it.
Well, that's for sure. But you do have to take that step, unfortunately.
Yeah, he'll 100% come on with us. I'm sure he
I don't
wants.
think so. I'm going to bet no.
Oh no, he
Yeah.
would. No way.
It's Super Bowl week. It's
He would
Fox.
come
They got
on.
him doing a million things. I would bet he doesn't come
If
on.
we can't get Kevin
No,
Burkhardt
I don't
on,
believe that. I don't believe that.
he will go out of his way.
Well, let's try it.
How about this?
Okay.
A breakfast bet.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. When we get back, if we don't, but you have to try.
No, I'm going to try.
Okay, so if you do that, I promise breakfast from one of us for the crew.
But-
on the Tuesday we get back.
But somebody would also have to reach out to Mr. Kevin Burkhardt personally. You guys all know him.
But correct. I think what Eddie said is right.
And
One
then
of
I
us-
go through
Yes.
PR.
Text him. We're looking for you. We're putting the request in.
who's the best PR person to go
And here's the thing. It wouldn't be because there's a conflict because we're on so damn early. If
Yeah.
he doesn't want to do
No,
it,
he'd have to come down there at 7:00 in the morning.
yeah, he doesn't want to get up.
He is not showing
Yes, he
up
will.
there.
He will.
Guaranteed.
99.9% we will have Kevin Burkhardt on the week of the
let's
Super
make it
Bowl.
a bigger bet then.
I just did breakfast. It was going to be $75. How much you want to do?
How about this? The loser has to go up in the hot air balloon.
No, not a chance. Because that
that is
1/10
awesome.
of 1%, I will. No, I'm not interested. What do you want to do?
I just, but this bet would have to be that Kevin Burkhardt will come to
Yes,
Radio Row.
correct, and
that
beyond.
1,000% is not happening.
And I say 99.9% will happen.
See, I think I'm with Jerry. I just texted with Kevin not that long ago, right before the Vikings-Giants game that he called, so he got right back to
And
me.
I think Fox is going to push him.
Oh,
They
100%.
never put their guys on Radio Row
This is-
the week of Super Bowl. The network that has it. He's calling the Super Bowl. He ain't going anywhere near the convention center.
And
I say he's coming
because of Craig's show, they wouldn't want him on the competitor.
Is he going out there to do that show?
No.
Oh. So then
Yeah, but still,
he's going to be there.
I'm just trying to
I think
be a
all
jerk.
those rules go out the window the week of the Super Bowl.
The most you'll get is a phoner. He'll call in.
Oh,
No, that's
stop.
unacceptable.
That does not count.
Stop.
That doesn't count. I would.
agree.
In that case, I lose. I'm saying he comes and sits down with Boomer
Perfect.
and
Love
Gio
it.
that week.
All right. Very good. I'm with Jerry on this one, and I'm going to try my
How about
damnedest.
this? Breakfast every day of the week for 5 days. Is that a big enough bet?
That's aggressive.
You the one that said bigger.
No, one nice, solid, good, big breakfast.
Fine, done deal. All
rice,
right.
rice cakes and pita.